This is what most of us do. We find someone we're attracted to, we commit to them, and then we just try and make it work. Hey, I'm Bobby, welcome to my channel. This is a template most of us use, and our parents and everyone around us tells us, well, that's the roll of the dice. You're not even that connected, you don't know them that well, you have issues, there's a lot of avoidance, you don't open up completely, but you have faith that if you commit, both of you want to give it a shot without even knowing each other, you have faith that you'll work it out. I don't know what it is about people that they think that instead of being honest and talking to the other person and finding out exactly who they are, and you voicing your opinions, telling everyone every side of you excitedly. Politically, I'm like this. I'm very conservative. I'm very liberal. I'm not into this. I am into this. I'm a homebody, really. That's who I am. Just in a communication sense, just really excited to let it all out and let someone know who you are. And by doing that, you encourage them to do the same so that you know exactly who they are. But most of us don't. Most of us feel really grateful to enjoy the company of somebody else that we don't want to ruin it. I understand the impulse, but this template we all tend to use, that it's just all luck, just find someone you get along with, commit, decide they're going to be the one before they've actually convinced you, before your instincts know that they're the one, and they just try to make it work in some sort of honorable way. As though a donkey can get along with a tiger. I've enjoyed watching an older gentleman by the name of Chris Woodman. He's an ex-police officer, I think, and he's recently been divorced. His wife cheated on him, marriage broke apart. Now he's single, seems like he's fairly happy. I really like the way he talks about just basic life in general. And he asked the recent question where,
have I ever in my life had somebody that has been so in my camp, so in love with me, that I've absolutely felt that in every fibre of my being, because that's what I'm talking about. And I would absolutely say, I don't think I have.
And I started to think about that. Has anyone ever really seen you and known who you are in order to be compatible with you? In order to find out if the two of you are precisely a match to be able to decide to commit? Have you had the courage to use your words to directly tell people your quirks, flaws, insecurities, where you don't care? This is where I started to enjoy dating far too late. I wish I'd done it sooner, but it was in my late 30s and 40s where it's not that I didn't care, it's where I felt I have every right to tell people exactly who I am and show them exactly who I am. And likewise, I want to see exactly who they are too. These games that your parents and everyone tells you is just the way to do things is just rubbish. Everyone's game playing and covertly trying to make a relationship work as though you can make a relationship work with absolutely anyone. That's the theory that everyone tries to sell you. Online dating coaches and dating advice doesn't help. They tell you with the right look, word, style, approach, things you say, lines, knowing biological signals, knowing men or women's nature, that you can get any woman to like you. And maybe there's a bit of truth. Yeah, you can maybe convince someone strategically to like you because you've read up on their unconscious signals, right? Okay, once you've got someone, regardless of whether they're compatible with you or not, once you've got somebody, what are you going to do with them? Isn't the point to keep the relationship going? Dating advice is terrible. They would have you believe that it doesn't matter who you are and what your values are, and it doesn't really matter who she is and what her values are, that with the right strategy, the right look, the right amount of money, setting yourself up the right way, that you can just stand in the middle of a field, be attractive, be a bright shining light, and all these women will flock to you like a moth to a flame. It's terrible advice not to consider who you are before trying to find somebody to build a future with. It's the cart before the horse mentality. Now you hear people, I want to start a business, in the same way they say, I want a relationship. Yeah, what are you into? Oh, that doesn't matter, I just want to start a business. And I think people date the same way. They want an idea of a relationship. They don't really care much about the person. You see this a lot of times with women where they just want the child, they want to be a mother. And then you ask them, you haven't mentioned anything about a man. What kind of man do you want? Oh yeah, of course, that's a given. You know, it goes without saying. He's got to be kind and decent and, you know, love me and all this. It's like, it's very important to do the first steps before you fantasize about the rest. It's just baffling to me. I don't get it. Whenever I talk about these things, you know, learn to speak your mind, learn not to be afraid, basic conversation, knowing yourself, saying the words you mean, that will get you 90% of the way through solving most of your problems in life in terms of social interactions with people. And so you can stop butting your head against the stupid wall of just going out with strangers where you all avoid saying what you want and what you need and your yeses and your nos. I don't get it. So in response to Chris's video about, have you ever really been loved by somebody? I would say most of my life, absolutely not. I wanted to love people. I really found them attractive. I liked them. I was looking forward to the possibilities of what it could be. It crossed my fingers. I was the nice guy. I performed the boyfriend role really, really well. Didn't want to cause waves, just to give it the best chance of working. But all the while, uncomfortable, niggling disagreements, not getting along, not really wanting the same path in life, not wanting the same things out of life, but thinking that, okay, let's carve a path in the middle where neither of us get what we want, neither of us has anything resembling the life that we want, but let's get something in the middle. That's fair, isn't it? Where we're both mildly frustrated and on a path that neither of us want. That's what most people do. They pick a nice enough person that's not compatible with them, and they just try and make it work by being nice and doing all the things that a faceless cardboard cutout of a decent man or woman does. And then wondering why they just don't get me. I can't share my inner world with them. If you can't share your inner world with somebody, if you can't show people you're good, you're bad, you're ugly, you're quirky, and you can have a laugh about it and they're not surprised by any of it, if you can't do that, there's no point. You can get the girl by listening to the pickup artists and dating coaches' advice by, you know, make yourself the most high value man. Yeah, you can get the girl, but you won't be able to sustain her. Same as women. They put on the short skirt, they can get any man, but they don't know how to keep a man. The point is to keep a relationship. I know a lot of people convince themselves that there's no such thing as love because you can't keep anything. Well, sure, if you approach it by not caring who they are and not caring what you want. Your values, your shared values are the only thing that's got a chance of having it work. So stop hoping it'll work. Know who you are, communicate it with your words, and then you'll encourage them to do the same. And only from that, after the honeymoon period has passed, the initial dating period of a few months or however long it takes, where the newness of the relationship has faded and it's just day-to-day life, and you actually see them as a friend as well as a lover, that you can really see a real future with them because it is real. They understand you. You have the same sense of humor. You want to live the same way. There's no big compromises like you want kids and she doesn't, or vice versa. She wants to travel, you don't, or whatever it may be. You cannot make it work with anyone. You cannot make it work with anyone. So in response to Chris's video, have you ever really been loved by anyone? And in his video, he said no, he doesn't really think he has. He met someone where they both liked each other and he thought they just grow into each other. And you don't. You grow apart. If you're not compatible, you will grow apart. It's just two nice people who were raised well, trying to do good by each other, but realizing they've made a mistake by traveling down a road with the wrong person. Make sure you pick the right person. And you can only do that by knowing who you are first, speaking the words of who you are all the time, being clear and eloquent with it, which I hope I'm doing here, and then hearing a familiar language come back to the way you speak and knowing why you like this person. Not just that they're hot, let's cross our fingers, and let's try and make it work because all relationships are hard. No, not the foundations, not the fundamentals, not the trusting of a person because they're compatible with you. It's not hard from that perspective. Life is hard, and that's when you have to have a compatible person in your corner that you can trust. But having to deal with life and your partner too, trust me. And you can ask many people who pick the wrong person. I'd say 90+% of us do. Most people haven't really been loved. In other words, most people haven't really been seen for who they are and what they really want in life because they don't say it. And they're just polite and they don't want this pretty person to go away. They don't want to be lonely. Finally, they've found someone who's better than all of the trash that they've been dating. But someone that's better than trash isn't a good reason to marry them. It's rare to find someone you're compatible with. It sounds trite and very basic. Everyone looks for these complicated strategies in terms of dating, as though you don't have to factor yourself into dating. You don't have to factor her into dating. It's this structural strategy where you can make it work with anyone and anyone can be attracted to you. It's avoiding the obvious of facing the mirror, which no one likes to do. Anyway, I hope you got something out of that. Let me know your comments in the comment section. What's been your experience? And go check out Chris's channel. Really great effort he's making. So yeah, I'll catch you later. Bye. That's Melbourne over there.